of a fight. The game was intense. SSG was pushed and pressured, but SSG didn't often get off to the smartest start. They sort of stumbled, which people didn't expect. And to be fair, nowhere near as bad as a lot of others. At one point, you just have to try and drive yourself into this fight. And DWG KIA, they're still set up quite pretty. They're waiting with the stretch underneath as Bosco takes the fight at the top. And Hot and Cold and Faults want to take it at the bottom. It's a 3-2-1 drop, but Rin opens it up. Skies, though, head down, stick it, 7 seconds. He's got halfway, and the pings are coming through, but the cover is there from SSG. Bosco gets it, and the diffuser is down. A double from Rin, and Skies is on the floor. It's suddenly a 4 versus 2 post-plant, but the verticality is still in their favor. The diffuser going down was the most important part, and now this rotation has to come back up. There's the double bait on the air jab. They've played it off, but there's both players. There's a very important take and a revenge kill. Bosco's left. Bosco gets it. They're going to see if they can stick it. Is he aware? They pull off. 20 seconds, they have all the time in the world, and Woogieman is looking to see if he can get any sort of angle on this. It's dropped. Bosco gets that player. It's a 1 versus 1. 11 seconds, he goes for the pickup. He has to stick it, has to get the cover. Bosco locks it out, and SSG somehow keep it in their favor.
In a 2v4 post-plant with virtually no real estate near the
holder with anything like those grenades in his pocket. Here, though, Faults is the opener. Finds the player right on the top on the backside of Garage and opens up a huge swathe of land very quickly. All it took was an angle and an idea, and suddenly DWG KIA's got a massive glaring hole on the backside of their site.
DWG KIA still looking to hold on here, but as you said, a massive hole opened up there with the elimination of Rin here and the utility that's been utilized by SSG. Bosco still waiting for an opener here to actually get him into the window, and quite a few members of the team seem to be waiting for that. Faults, though, lurking right in, walking right into the site. No one's even noticed him as of this point here, and he's going to find that Cash is open for the taking. They'll hop in the window as they know security's just as clean. Where's DWG Gaming? There they are. Now Katsang will also rotate in from Cat as Coded and Woogieman pick up 2 additional kills, leaving it all on Faults and Bosco here now, locked out of the site with only about 15 seconds left to play this one out. Yash shuts down on Faults, and Bosco is all that remains. Nearly clipped off right there by Coded, and returns some of the fire onto him, but time is getting too low, and finally Coded seals the deal.
Down onto this first Firewhite. Another drone, another chance, and the fight finally goes away from him.
Faults able to win the duel there on positioning, dancing around Rin, and eventually finding the target necessary to take him out. That's the opening kill of the round, just being found now at around the 1-minute mark as well. Plenty more work to be done here by SSG as they begin to encroach on DAMWON Gaming's territory, getting closer and closer towards it. Faults with the second one here, and a nice nade to knock out Woogieman as well. The pressure is boiling in, and Katsang so far, the only one from DWG KIA that's able to respond to it. He'll fall back, create a punch hole to play off of, not necessarily going to use it though. Coded also put into a tough spot here as finally another 1-to-1 exchange comes out. Leaves it all on Coded now in the 1v3 clutch, and oh, what a shot to save his own life here against Hot, but a lot more work to be done. He might just do it though as he shuts down Faults, and now it's him versus Bosco. Bosco has the intel he needs, but now so does Coded. He knows where he'll be pushing from. He knows how he needs to approach this. The case is down on the ground. He has full overwatch on it, but Coded messes up, reveals his legs as he goes prone, and that will give the round. Time to clear out the defenders, which is still going to be the full 5-man roster for DWG KIA.
All of them are moving their way back towards it. Even Coded's paying a bit of attention, but Wiggy says, don't worry, the Elder has this on the front door. The long corridor is where Faults wants to find his next angle of entrance, but we just heard a little bit of utility start to be thrown. Pipes is the call, and Faults finds himself a victim of Yas, who swings onto the soft wall, and suddenly they are entirely boxed in and locked off. A 5 versus 2, and they know exactly where they are. They at least find one back, and the spray is a little bit aggressive on the close quarters. Katsang is going to go for a slow creep round. They have an angle, and Skies has several different people he needs to try and find a fight with, but they decide to find it back. Bosco, through the smoke, goes for the first. There's a Jaeger, and there is a 2-2.
From below, beautifully done by Katsang assisting with that one, and the other impact thrown out by Yas here, but no! Yas is going to get fragged out himself, so another attempt from SSG soon to be made here. They're actually going to go for an audible. Moving Faults over, no! He catches Katsang for free, but can't follow it up on the Rin as he quickly exchanges it back out. SSG still have the player advantage, but could very well lose it here, and never mind, Rin himself is going to get lost as Skies barrels in to assist with the garage push. Bosco finding the second, only one more remains. It's Coded, looking for a clutch yet again here. He's got the shotty at that long range as well. That's not going to do it here. And now he's got to contend against the plant, but won't even have a chance as Hot and Cold completes the loop. And ground for SSG to utilize here as they look around the area to see if any members of DAMWON KIA can be spotted out. Rin's going to actually make a run of it, but no, he's put down by Fultz. And that's SSG getting the advantage at the beginning of the round yet again.
A very well-timed push here, and it falls away. Coated comes down, doesn't quite reveal it, and Yas cannot connect with Hot and Cold, who's able to upside down repel and drop the single player. The E1D bought them a second of time. And that paid off because they could reset themselves up to go for the trade and revenge. Okay, they've lost Fultz, but he's done his job. Found the first fight, lost the second, but they still have the body balance. They still have everything they need to try and
Can do is use frag grenades to accomplish it. Woogieman in a race with Skies right now. No, another frag from Rampy. Shuts down Woogieman and shuts down the trick. That's going to open up construction, but they still don't have balcony yet. So they'll need that second facet, or once again, have to try and brute force it through the CCTV window and the construction wall.
Kazang's in an uncomfortable situation. He doesn't know that no one's coming up behind him, so he's just going to wait for the call to go ahead and just point his gun forward. The E1D in a 15-second burn gets burst by Coated for a second of the round. There's suddenly a spray from the other side, and Rampy's going to see if he can stick it. Hot and Cold's going on a big run around to the bottom of red for the close spray, and the Deagle gets one more. Coated for the lock-off. Hot and Cold cannot connect with both of them, and DWG KIA just hold on for an even half. Ready to swing out whenever he needs to, and Yas is concerned about that possibility. The decision unfortunately goes away from him, and now they find themselves still slowed. The smoke canisters pop perfectly, and this is that wall I talked about. Rin's gonna see if he can be the response here as the Zephyr goes for the pop-up, and Coated just drives in. The zaps come, and the clash goes. A great bait and play in the spray! Rin round the corner, you keep your cursor flat at head level, and you are gifted with results. Rampy tries to get some response, but they have the watch, and they have, importantly, the lead in their first attacking round.
And just Rampy ready for an aggressive swing if he's given the opportunity to do so. He's going to block off the rotate with a Goo Mine, but no! The shots ring in from Coated instead as he catches that Goo Mine. Toss it! Oh! He's ready for a second one as well. Hot and Cold tries to get revenge, but instead he's made the situation that much worse. Rin as well follows up with one more as he's also cleaning up the aggressive play from the main stairs. SSG have fallen to pieces, and DAMWON KIA haven't even touched the basement yet.
Well, Bosco and Skies are all that is left down on the basement. There are open holds, and they're going to see if they can step up some of the pressure. DWG KIA, the pressure they have is, can they make sure they connect? They have been good at their...
Can't get nervous in this situation. It needs to be commitment, otherwise SSG can come back in these final seconds. Bosco with the first, but he's been exchanged, and now Skies getting caught in the mid-hallway. Katsang does go down to team damage here, so Skies is not out of it just yet, but finally cut off by Rin, moving in from blue.
One more round. Let's go for it. They're going to deep dive to the close wall. They can't quite get the angle. The clash and the castle even has popped open one apiece. And Skies is still in position, but the diffuser, it is now isolated, and Yas is now in sight. A double as he absolutely floods his way through. Hot and Cold has to tear down a very noisy door and take a very long reach with Rampy there too. They're looking for the pings. They're finding the C4, and it connects. A 2 versus 3 now, and it is visible, but they pick it back up. Give themselves a little bit more time, and Yas is going to see if they can get it stuck. Another C4. That one connects too. Spacestation living up to their alias and making sure everything is blown up above them to the stars. The third attempt. And there is no more C4s. But there is ping. A little bit further back. Not quite connected, and it's a post plant. More than enough to make sure they're suddenly in a 2 versus 2. But Hot and Cold and Rampy are doing everything to bring it back. Rin creeps the wrong side, but catches it. Now it is Rampy that is all the hopes of the Russians. They are watching fervently to see if they can stop these 2 remaining Korean players in a post-plant Overwatch. Would not be the first big clutch, would be maybe the biggest for some players here, but it does not happen. DWG KIA are in the playoffs.
DWG KIA locked and secured as our final playoff team from this group.
Likely to come back to life very soon. They know they've got to follow this up, and Yas probably regrets holding a grenade at that moment in time as Bosco locks one off. Yas suffers quite a lot. shot, and Rin just deep dives through a smoke. Still in it, and it's just escapes. They had a moment where they sort of took a double peek, like, I could go for seconds. No, maybe I'm full. Oh, now I am definitely done. They're locked out, and they're at least able to find one more and keep the balance in their favor here, SSG. More grenades, more attempts at catching these players, but SSG aren't handing any territory over. Still, these sort of mad dash charges, we've seen them be punished for before, and DWG KIA aren't quite in the same positions they were previously. The play and the pull back into the site has worked, and with the final 20 seconds, it's now down to a confrontation. The damage he took from the canister was being hit by it, but he's able to lead himself into sight. However, there's one more to quickly follow up from an opener. There's the trade, though, and the diffuser needs to be put down on the ground. Coated thinks he's found a safe corner and needs a bit of support there. It's Woogieman that locks it off. They need to look to the ground. No! DWG KIA hold F.
Try and throw this in later in the round.
Sky's a sliver from death, and that reverse grenade fishing was almost the cost. That sure was. Bosco gone off to Coated, who's able to open up one more. The thermite charges his way through, and Fultz is going to have to charge his way back to site. But Yas is on the prowl. There's a couple of holes in that as a bit of a watch potential as well, which means Fultz is going to have to be a little bit more cautious. Woogieman is going for his creep up here onto the rafters stairs. They have control in 50 seconds. It screams their way past and drops all the dangers on the way, but it's also making the execute count, and the push is about to come to shove.
Katsang working his way in here along with Yas. SSG falling to pieces as just Fultz and Houghton remain. Fultz off the site as well, and Katsang quickly takes care of the only other piece of resistance, and why not get the last one as well? DWG KIA comes out on top in regulation in their final game of the group, and that will not only lock them in for the playoffs, but it also locks them in for first place in